Mr. Cicconi, it's no secret that over the years, AT&T has raised concerns over proposed net neutrality rules. Yet, AT&T took a stance in support of the FCC's order as the CEO and chairman earlier this year that the open internet order ended at a place where we have a line of sight and we know we can commit to investments. What are the specific factors that lead you to supporting the FCC's order?
As I said earlier, Ms. Matsui, I think we're comfortable with the order primarily because it walks this line, we feel, in a more balanced way than the other proposals that were in front of the FCC. I think keep in mind that the two proposals that were there, one was an NPRM that frankly had a discrimination standard in it that we felt was probably a violation of the Telecom Act and certainly didn't have support in the Act. Would have inevitably led to legal challenge. And the other was to impose common carriage regulation on these services again, which would have been, I think, a very extreme proposal. We were pleased that the FCC was willing to work with us to try and deal with our concerns and, frankly, deal with the concerns of stakeholders to see if there was a middle ground. Like any middle ground, we're not happy with every part of it. We'd have preferred some different language and different standards. We'd have preferred nothing on wireless.
Right. I understand that. We've heard from a great number of leading economists in support of the FCC's order. Assuming that the FCC moves forward with the order to ensure rules of the road are in place to protect innovators and consumers, what impact does CRA have on Wall Street?
I think that's tough to predict, Ms. Matsui, primarily because I think if the CRA were to pass, I think the ball then passes to the FCC, and I think the market reaction would depend heavily on how the FCC then reacted. If the FCC, for example, reacted by deciding that it didn't want to move forward with any further regulations in this area, obviously I think the market would be pleased and that would provide a high degree of certainty. If, on the other hand, the FCC reacted by going back to the still open Title II proceeding and began that process all over again that we went through this past year, I think it would create a great deal of uncertainty. So I think the answer to that really rests with the FCC. It doesn't really, it's not really a product of the CRA and what the Congress decides to do on that. It's really more a product of what the FCC decides to do in the wake of that.
Okay, but you're still dealing with uncertainty, though.
Potentially, but again, depending on what the FCC decides to do.
Okay.